Whoa, in the last episode, Raziel came face to face with Cain, and he was destined to kill him at this point, to pick up the Reaver, newly remade, and thrust it into his chest, kill the man that would destroy the world. That was Raziel's destiny. But of course, things haven't exactly worked out that way. Raziel made a decision to go against his fate and not kill Cain. Of course, the question you have to ask is, how does a person in a universe where fate exists, where everything is predetermined to happen, how is it that somebody can go against their determined fate? And it really doesn't have anything to do with the time travel. As it was previously shown in the earlier games in the series, time travel doesn't have an effect on fate. Moebius was aware of this, and that's how he's aware of seeing what happens in the future, what happens in the past, and what happens in the various different versions of time that exists. But, so if fate can't be beaten, how is it that Raziel managed to not kill Cain? Which is something. Now, Cain said that Raziel had the power, and that must have something to do with what Cain's plan for Raziel was. And Cain's seemingly murder of Raziel out of what seemed like jealousy, at this point has become a much more complex web of lies and intrigue and all that kind of crap. It seems like when Cain had executed Raziel all that time ago, his whole intention was to do what he's doing right now, to lead Raziel into a position where he could potentially defy his fate and change the future in some meaningful manner. Now, Cain seems to be wanting to sort of regain his what seemed like what would have been his destiny as the balance guardian of the pillars. But by the time he had really come to any appreciation of that role, or anything where he could potentially do something about it, the pillars had already collapsed. Vampires had ruled. Everything is falling to shit. Nothing Cain could really do about that. But if that was the way things were destined to be, even if he went back in time in some way, attempted to change it, he still wouldn't be able to because, well, it wasn't his fate to do so. So now we find a situation where he seems to have found someone, that being Raziel, who has the ability, for whatever reason, to change fate. So that's why we're here. For why Raziel has the ability to change fate, I don't know. Hopefully we'll find that out soon. But Raziel does, and that's what's going on. Now, Raziel is rather determined to not be played as a fool or be used as a pawn for either Moebius's goals or Cain's. Either case, he's not particularly fond of either person. Oh shit! You're gonna die, fool! Yeah. So that's why he's made the decision to go and step away. Like he intends to just sort of step away from this. He just doesn't want anything to do with either man's plan. That's why he's come here instead of going with Cain to do whatever Cain plans on doing. Now Raziel's plan is to travel to the past and determine the truth of what the winged creatures depicted on the walls were about, the creation of the Reaver, the creation of the pillars, all that kind of stuff. He wants to know. So that's what we're doing here. Pictures of Vord are all over the place. Yeah, the death of them did not look anything like this. Call your dogs, they can feast on your corpses. Shabam!
Ah, yes. I like that look on your face, Moebius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damned staff. But I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kain's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Moebius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kain when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, "Kill Kain." I'm setting my own path from here, Moebius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kain's servant.
I do not serve Kain. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come now, Moebius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This error is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kain? You're leaving your quarry behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me. Even as I emerged from that infernal time-streaming chamber, I suspected treachery. The stronghold was vacant, derelict, and abandoned.